You ready to start the show, cuz?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Welcome. Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family-oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now. Unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too. Feels nice to have the music back again live with us.
It does, and it sounds so clear.
Oh, thank you. That's what $600 will get you.
Very professional.
Thank you. We try. Because we'd like to introduce ourselves.
Of course. I'm number 2.
I'm Tello. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm Lourdes.
No, go ahead.
Everybody knows me. I'm number 2.
Well, usually it's customary to start with the guest. I mean, it's just rude.
Oh, duh. We have a guest.
I'm Tello.
I'm Isabel.
Isabel is my daughter, my offspring.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to put it. She sprung right off of you.
Or sprung right out of me.
What was that like? Do you remember?
It was painful. It was brutal.
So Isabel's your first child.
Yeah.
Unlike Bila, who was your number 2 child.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you pooped her out, but this one sprang right out of you.
It was a little struggle. I think I was like 16 hours in labor.
16?
Yeah.
Dang, that's like overtime.
The pain just nonstop bearing down on my vagina and body.
Oh my. Isabel, do you remember it?
Just like it was yesterday.
Wow. What was it like? Yeah. Was it like a bright light at the end of a tunnel?
Yes, it was exactly like that.
And then you saw your relatives when you were born?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened? And
now I'm here.
And then she started crying. Oh my gosh.
She's like, I want to go back to sleep. It was warm and cozy in there. It's cold out here.
How did this happen?
So 16 hours.
About, yeah.
And you were how old at the time, cuz?
19.
Oh my. Isabel, you're how old now?
22.
So you have a 3-year-old kid?
No.
But your mom did at that age. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine having a 3-year-old right now?
No.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just like, can you like?
No, I can't imagine her either. Like at this age.
Yeah, you'd be a grandmother.
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just like we're about the same age. I picture myself if I had a 22-year-old. Golly, I mean, it'd be great. But it also
is great. We get drunk together. We have all these plans of doing drugs together.
We're best friends.
Yeah, they were like, I always would tell them, you can be honest with me. I may not like what you tell me, but you can always come to me and talk to me.
And do you, Isabel?
Not before. I think now that I've gotten older, it's easier to go and talk to her. But
we talked about something before the show. Do you want to go ahead and tell her now, or do you want to wait till later?
We can tell her now.
Go for it. Just kidding.
Y'all are so full of baloney.
You guys scared? What do you think it was going to be? She was on drugs.
Know.
She was the queen pin of a drug ring. She has her own cartel. Go ahead, tell me about your cartel. You know how the dog keeps digging holes in the yard? Well,
yeah.
She's been using him.
Hey, that's top secret stuff.
He's her tunneler. He digs the tunnel straight to Mexico for her.
He does. He dug a hole yesterday, and Luis was like, "Mira, pinche perros."
We have a guest for a special reason. What is that reason, cuz?
It's y'all's celebration of Apple's birthday. right?
Apple is celebrating its 45th birthday this year.
Yeah.
It's Gen X, like you and me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just a couple years younger than Apple. Like 2 years.
I could be working for Apple.
Yeah, they could have hired you right out of your mom's womb.
Yeah. I could have been a scientific project born the same year, and we're not twins.
You could write the app that sees how guys, their cleanup routine after they pee.
That's true. It could detect.
That's how
you
you
know
can,
how all the watches have the sensors, body
Yeah.
sensors, monitors. It can check if you're wet.
I thought you were going to see it could, since it has like an accelerometer in there, it can tell if you were shaking when you were done or if you were doing like a wiping motion.
That seems more realistic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's using the technology.
Yeah.
The technology that already exists. We don't want to, like, how would you tell if, like, unless you got it on your watch, which is, ugh.
Should be dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a stupid idea. I'm sorry.
That was a stupid idea.
I guess that's why Apple didn't hire me.
Can we start over?
Okay.
So Apple's turning 45 this year. Isabel, you and I are big fans of Apple. We use their products a lot.
Yes.
Your mom, not so much. And I don't want this to be a show like an indictment against Android users and Windows users, because I, for many years, was a Windows user. I was a PC user. I used to build my own computers. My first smartphone was an Android. This is just about my personal preference, your personal preference. These are what we like about it and why. And that's what I really want to talk about. But because you said that you had prepared some stuff too, do you want to get started with that, or?
Yeah, I don't know much about Apple, so because I'm not an Apple user, but I do have one Apple product, which is my Mac Mini.
Yes.
So I had to, I was like, you know what? I get on this show and I don't always know what we're talking about.
Oh, I thought you were going to say how to turn your microphones on.
Yeah, that too, which I'm sure you're going to hate me later.
Anyway. Isabel, I apologize again for her being so unprofessional. It's an embarrassment to the show, quite honestly.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
She forgives you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I did was I prepared Don't Cheat, like a little quiz for you two.
Oh. Oh, hang on. Wait. This is a game show. We need some game show music. What do I got?
So I'm going to keep a little tally here of Isabel and Tello's responses.
All right.
And see who can answer
we're
first.
going up against each other.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I want to see who's the...
Yeah, I'm going to lose.
I don't know. I might lose. I don't like being competitive against my blood, my kin, my relatives.
It's all in good fun. I mean, we're not a very competitive family, right?
Isabel, no matter what happens, don't let your mom divide us, okay?
Okay.
So, question 1.
Your
what
mom.
year?
Sorry.
What year was the first iPhone released?
Oh, I know that.
I don't know that.
2007.
Eric got it. Isabel, you better step up
I'm telling you, I'm going to lose.
In all fairness, that's kind of a nerdy question. Like, I just, I keep up with that technology, and it's, like, for me, it's a pivotal moment, and this might sound ridiculous, but it was a pivotal moment, not only in pop culture and culture, but in human history, in my opinion. The iPhone changed a lot, so knowing when that came out is important.
It's not a big deal. Oh, so when was the first iPad released? Do you know this one?
I do.
I don't.
It was just a few years later. They just basically took the iPhone and just stretched it out. They were like, it's going to take us about 3 years to get it to stretch out this big.
Okay.
It was 2010. 2010.
Yep. This is so fun. Okay, what's the biggest difference about the iPhone X?
Compared to what?
Compared to the other iPhones. The biggest difference.
I think I know the answer.
Isn't it related to like the camera?
Nope. Go ahead. Tell Tell us.
They got rid of the home button so that you could have more screen.
Damn,
yes.
that's true. Eric's up by 3, Isabel.
I'm not counting, Isabel. Your mom's she's
totally trying to divide us.
Yeah, totally. And we're not going to let her do that because no matter what, you don't have to know the history to appreciate the product.
See, Ma?
Yeah. When was the first Android released?
I don't know.
Me neither.
I'm not, but yeah. Okay.
What year did Windows 95 come out?
I don't know.
It's in the name.
Windows 95.
Okay. What is the title of the Apple Store employees? What's their titles? Anybody? Hello?
I'm letting Isabel.
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, to work there, you have to be really brilliant, like super smart, like super, super smart. So they might call you, if you're super, super smart, like beyond smart.
A genius.
Hey, we got a point down for Isabel.
My guess was also genius. Is that right?
That is correct.
Do they really call them geniuses?
Yeah, that's their title.
Wow.
Yeah. Have you ever been? You've been to an Apple store, right?
No.
Oh, when this pandemic is over, we need to take a field trip to an Apple store because the place where you go to get, like, if you have questions or need something to work on, it's called the Genius Bar. The store is really nice. It's like clean, kind of. I mean, not so much by today's standards, futuristic, but like it's just to have their products out for you to test, and everything's just like nice and clean, like a nice minimalistic design. It's really cool. I think you'd enjoy it. Come to Austin, we'll go visit one.
Okay.
Okay, I got a couple more questions and then we can move
I like
on.
this quiz. Okay, good job, cuz.
Yeah, how many versions of the Apple Watch are there so far?
Okay, so this is as of April 2021. I think I know, but I'm not positive because I don't own one. They're out of my price range, so these I don't typically keep up with. Isabel, do you want to take a guess?
I feel like there's 6.
I feel like there's 6 also, but I don't know. Have they introduced the Apple Watch SE yet?
Let's just skip this question.
No. Hang on. No, see, you're trying to divide us, but we're united on this question.
What was the answer? What's the correct answer you have
6?
down?
7?
3.
Oh!
Can we just skip this question?
Hey, cuz, this is for you.
There's definitely 6. I just don't know about the other one.
Yeah. Cuz, one more for you. What a horrible quiz.
Gosh.
I would like to call the
awful.
FCC in on this game show and investigate it to make sure that this isn't rigged.
Well, let's go with the easier one. What's the most popular Apple product?
I have my guess.
I don't know. It has to be between the phone and the AirPod.
Ooh.
Go with one or the other.
I'm sticking with my original answer.
And that is, Isabel, do you want to pick which one you think it is?
The phone.
That was I have mine in my hand right now. That's my guess also.
Are you cheating?
No, this was, because I didn't write it down. I was going to just be like, hey, this is, no. Look, look at that. My calendar. NumTwoPod show today at 8:30 a.m. Let me just clear that off.
All right. I got just couple more maybe. I got to look at my phone because I did some screenshots.
Oh, wait, hang on. Hey, wait, hang on. We're robbing ourselves of this.
There you go. How many iPhone models have been released as of 2018?
Because I hope you did your research well. Because are you counting like the S models?
Look.
Or just what generation they're on?
The question that I copied from the thing is how many iPhone models have been released as of 2018.
As of 2018. Oh, so you got this from a website that was a few years old. Okay, so 2018. 10.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Isabel, do you have an answer? Go one more.
11.
No.
All right, what were you going to say before I whispered that to you?
Well, I was thinking because for the 10-year anniversary, they released the X.
Yeah, and they skipped 9. It went from iPhone 8 to the X.
So 13, 14?
No. Y'all are not
Dang.
true Apple people.
What?
18.
Oh, so they were counting. Oh, okay.
So you were counting all the extras.
I wasn't counting. This quiz, Apple quiz was counting.
Man. Do I have...
Okay, and then I'm going to end it with these.
No. If there's more questions, I like this.
Okay. So,
Isabel, are you enjoying this or no?
Yes.
Okay.
which iPhone has facial recognition?
Your mom's. Facial recognition. Isabel, do you know this? I think I know this one.
I think it's the X up. Like all of the ones since the X had
I think it started with the iPhone
Isabel,
10.
I think you get a point. It's the iPhone X. Because you only have 4 points?
What do you mean only? Are you keeping a score?
She stopped keeping score after like the third question.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I love this question. Which iPhone was released with colorful rainbow option?
I know this one.
I know you know this one.
This is kind of unfair because I owned this one. This was my first iPhone.
I know.
Isn't it like the 5C?
This is exactly what this is. Yes.
You guys are on a roll. Y'all just might be true.
Just call us Butter because we're on a roll.
All right, let's see if y'all can slip an answer out on this one.
What does that mean?
Butter slippery.
Oh my. I didn't make that connection.
I didn't either.
Sorry.
Dang. When you have a squeaky door, do you lube it up with butter?
Almost. I mean,
let's see if you can squeak past this butter hinge.
Which iPhone is not water resistant?
Your mom's.
No, but hers is door resistant.
Yes.
Wait, there's a story there. What happened?
Yeah, so I took my mom to the store one day. She's like, she gets in the car and she closes the car door and it won't close. So she's like,
she slams it like multiple times. And you hear like
something, it's hitting something.
Were y'all with her?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Was it Priscilla or you?
Priscilla. She was like, Monkey, you're hitting your phone.
Did she break it?
She wouldn't. She pulls up her jacket or sweater, whatever it was that she was wearing, because that's what was.
It was like in her pocket,
down.
weighing down.
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
Man.
And so she picks it up, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And she's all like frustrated, and
I thought she was gonna cry.
Yeah, but she didn't even like pull it out to look at it. I was like, "Ma, don't you think? I mean, don't you want to check it?"
Well,
it's probably broken. I broke it.
If you knew that there was a dead body under a blanket, would you lift up the blanket to see that dead body?
No.
This is like denial. I don't want to.
So did she break it? Do you know?
No, she didn't. But she has had trouble with it.
I think she messed up maybe the speaker.
Oh.
Or did something because you can't really hear her on the phone.
Oh, no. She beat the shit out of it with a car door.
She did.
It was like it owed her money or something.
I mean, it wasn't like, sometimes you close your door in your seatbelt. You know how that's happened before.
Oh, yeah, it's happened. Yeah, because I'm so
like
fat,
you do it once.
It doesn't go all the way back, and so part of it hangs out. Thanks for reminding me, cuz it makes me feel great about myself.
You close that door once, and you're like, damn, there's something there. My mom just kept pulling that door shut.
She was slamming it so hard.
I'm going to make this damn door close. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, my mom's phone is, I guess, door resistant.
What was the original question?
Which iPhone is not water resistant?
Which iPhone?
Mm-hmm. I'll give y'all multiple choice.
Well, I mean, there are multiple choices because for sure the first one wasn't.
Okay. Out of the iPhone 7, 8, SE, and X, which one is not?
Because you just spelled sex. Because the iPhones are sexy.
Whatever.
You did.
I did, but I didn't mean to.
It's always on your mind, Cochina.
Oh. So, which one?
The 7.
That's my guess as well because it's the earliest model.
No. Can you?
Okay. All right. So we got it wrong. We'll take our lumps for that. We'll just be like, okay. So can I get a follow-up guess?
Go ahead.
The first 2/3 of sex?
Yes, that is correct. The first 2/3 of sex.
The SE is not water resistant?
Nope.
Okay.
Did it come out before the 7?
Isabel, that's not a question I can answer. All right, let's move on to Steve Jobs.
Oh, one of my favorites. Personal hero of mine. I love the man. Maybe not the greatest person in the world all the time, but definitely a visionary. Changed our world.
All right. So he's made some quotes, and that's what we're going to go with. So I just need y'all to say true or false. Did he say this?
Oh, my.
Is this one of his real business quotes?
Okay.
Leading this business was never a question for me. Is that that's one of his quotes?
Yes.
I'm going to agree with Eric.
Nope. That's not a real quote from Steve Jobs. But this is, great things in business are never done by one person. Aha.
This is kind of boring. Keep going. I think I'm going to end up cutting this whole section out.
Stop.
It's for time, because I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I thought you were going to have good quotes.
All right. True or false?
Okay.
Did Steve Jobs quote this or say this, right?
He would have said it and you would have quoted it.
Yeah. Technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know Steve Jobs like that.
I mean,
We
if he
weren't
said
really
this, these are not his most iconic quotes. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no with you too, because he did say it.
Wait.
I'm going
to say
yes.
no, that you're wrong, because he did say it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
Ah, my goodness.
Well, that was a fun quiz.
Can we clap for her?
Clap? Yeah.
Can we give her a round of applause? That was great, Mom.
We can give her the clap. Oh, wrong one.
Thank you, all of you. I appreciate it. I worked hard on that.
You did a good job.
Yeah. How'd you know I had an applause over here?
I just figured you had like all the sounds.
Like all the sounds.
Well, cuz, thank you for that. That was a fun quiz, except for that last part with the quotes, because those were terrible.
I thought those were good quotes.
It was cute.
Yeah, I'm definitely cutting it out.
Oh, goodness. Do we need to take a break?
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably a good time to take a break. Let's go ahead and do that. Hey, are you enjoying NumTwoPod? Would you like to support us so that we can keep making these great shows for you? Cuz, why don't you tell them where they can go?
Hit us up at campfirepod.com/support us. That's campfyrepod.com/support us. Support us is all one word.
You can support NumTwoPod directly with a monthly donation for as little as 99 cents per month through our Anchor.fm website. Or scroll down a little more and you can click on our merchandise link, and that'll take you directly to our Amazon store where you can buy one of the shirts that we offer. And if you pick up anything else during that visit, we'll make a small commission at no extra charge to you.
That's right. Listen in style, pick up a badass shirt, support us at campfirepod.com/support us. That's campfyrepod.com/support us.
So we're back.
Yep. So I just wanted to go through a little bit of the history of Apple, why I think they're important, and then get to the point where I started using them and where Isabel started using them and we became fans, and how our fandom grew. Because in the early days, I was a PC user. My first computer was a PC, a Windows machine. I learned most everything I knew about computers on that by upgrading it. And I was a big time Apple hater because Apple was, first of all, expensive and more difficult to upgrade than a PC, because you could buy PC parts and just add them in as long as they were compatible. But Apple was always more closed off and more difficult to find things compatible. But I do acknowledge that they were important to computers and culture and even history in a lot of ways. They were one of the first computers to use a mouse, because their Lisa and early Macintosh computers were the first computers with graphical user interfaces. So you needed a mouse to be able to interface with it, because before that they were just command line prompts, DOS, basic. You use a keyboard to type in your commands to open your applications.
Tab.
Yep. And they were one of the first to include Wi-Fi as an option with the iBook. I sent you the video. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, because when they introduced the iBook in '99, it had an option where you could buy an add-on Wi-Fi card, and this was like early days of Wi-Fi. Before that, if you wanted internet, you had to plug in an Ethernet cable. I don't know how available Wi-Fi was for PC laptops, but it was probably an add-on card. But they also sold a base station to go along with it, and their first base station had the option to plug in Ethernet. Now keep in mind, high-speed internet wasn't widely available.
Right.
So you had your option to plug in Ethernet or a telephone line for your modem, so that your base station could dial up to the internet and then give you Wi-Fi for a dial-up internet connection.
Wow.
Do you remember how slow dial-up was?
Yeah. Sound like a fax machine.
Yeah. Sound like this.
Isabel wasn't born then, so she doesn't understand all of this.
What year were you born?
98.
Oh, there was I was still using dial-up then.
But she wasn't, like,
I wasn't using dial-up.
She was, yeah.
Okay.
She didn't understand that. I mean, she was just days
Why didn't you teach her?
I didn't even teach my son how to ride a bike.
You're a bad mom. Isabel, I'm sorry you never had the chance to use dial-up. You'd have some stories to tell now about how you were waiting. I remember loading up when I would go to a website and click on, like, say, for example, just randomly a picture of something, and it would just be like loading up line by line by line. And I'm sitting there in anticipation waiting to see if it's what the picture was described of. Sometimes
I can only
I'd be fooled.
imagine what kind of a picture it was.
It was unicorns and rainbows.
Sounds like a nice picture.
Yo, some of them were.
I'm sure he had to wait at least a good, 15 minutes for each picture to upload?
I don't know. I was out of puberty by the time the picture loaded. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. They were one of the first ones to really standardize USB on their computers.
Yeah.
When the iMac was released in 98, it didn't have any of the legacy connections. So you had to use, it forced you to use USB. And I remember a lot of people were upset by that. But it became the standard. USB was universal serial bus. So it really forced people to get into the modern era of PC peripherals.
So this is a USB.
Hold it up to the camera. Yes.
And it's for a mouse, not for an Apple, but
a wireless mouse?
A wireless mouse, yeah.
Okay.
No cord.
Thanks, cuz that's very informative.
It is.
Then
it's a nifty little sucker.
Then let's see, the iPod. So MP3 players had already existed, but the iPod really made it. Well, first of all, it was it was a sexy device. Like it looked good, it worked well, it was easy to use, and their ad campaign for it was so enticing. But it really became the MP3 player to have once originally it was just Mac only, and they were smart enough to open it up to Windows users. So once that happened, it just became the MP3 player to have. I remember reading, I think it was Duke University, who one year, as part of their welcome package to new students, they included an iPod, and it just became a natural thing to have. It ingrained itself in culture pretty quickly.
Like the mini iPod Shuffle?
Yeah, this was my first. Oh, well, the Shuffle, yes, which is what you have, right?
Yeah, it's a tiny little. It clips to whatever.
And
shirts,
my brother
belts.
gave me my first Apple device, this iPod Nano. This was a Generation 3. It started because he called me one night before I owned any Apple products because he had the original iPod and he was having trouble loading his song. So he was asking me for technical support. So I looked it up on the internet. I didn't know really what to do. I was just reading the steps to him, which he could have done himself, but I was an intermediate. And going through step by step. And then we got to a point where I could go no further because I didn't have anything. And I was like, okay, you're going to have to do this on your own now. And he got upset with me. And I was like, what do you expect me to do, man? I don't have one. I've never done this before.
That was you telling him to buy you one.
No, that was me telling him, Google it. So later that year for my birthday, I get a FedEx package with a note inside that said, now you have to help me, asshole.
Damn.
And it was the iPod. And strangely enough, he never needed technical support on it again. I guess he was able to load up all his songs. So I got it, and I loved it. Before this, I had owned 2 MP3 players previous, and this one I've had this now for 11 or 12 years. So it's outlasted, and it still works. This was my favorite thing about this that I missed was the cover flow. I don't know if it's focusing.
Mm-mm.
Do like they do on
TikTok.
It's focusing. It's just the light is really bright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I missed the cover flow option. I don't know why they don't have that anymore. But if you'll...
I think on iTunes, they still have it. Like on the desktop app of iTunes.
I know that they have it in the file explorer. I don't know if it's in iTunes anymore. But I do have... Let me hook it up. Remember this sound?
Yeah.
Clicking through it. I missed that. I didn't remember... Because I've been using my iPhone now for, 7 years? So I stopped using this around then. And I just forgot some of the things about it that I loved.
Are you going to start using it now?
I might. I need to start exercising more. So I wanted to, listen to music while I walk around the neighborhood. And, you know, a couple of generations ago, the iPhone got rid of the headphone jack. So I can't use my regular headphones. And I bought some cheap earbuds, but I don't really like them for outside use. So I was thinking I could just hook up my headphones to this, except when I got this out to prepare for the show was the same day that I ordered these Bluetooth headphones. So I'll probably use those. But it's good to know that I have a backup.
Yeah, Isabel has iPhone earbuds.
Yeah, I have the first generation of the AirPods, but
Her female dog
bit them.
That bitch.
She bit my earbuds, which they still work. I can still listen to music, but I can't speak through them.
Oh.
Yeah,
which kind of defeats the whole purpose of having them. Yeah, I'm in the market for some new ones.
See,
I just don't know if I want to spend the money on those.
That's why my first Bluetooth headphones were the knockoffs of
but
earpods.
Those Isabel don't.
No. I'm not recommending these. I was just like, this was dipping my toe in the water to test if I like them or not. And they're okay, but they're not great for talking. You've heard me, especially outside when the wind is blowing. All you hear is.
Mine are okay, right? When I talk using mine, I'm not obviously on an Apple product, but
I hear a lot of background noise. If you're like in the kitchen with your kids, I hear everything equally loud.
That was the main complaint whenever I read the reviews, was there was no noise cancellation.
Oh, it's weird because I was using the restroom one day and I had him in and Eric heard me urinating.
I didn't. Oh, yes. Yes.
He had already put that out of his mind.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me,
He's like, oh.
Oh man, I
couldn't help it. I had to go really bad.
Well,
I had 3 kids.
You could have muted it.
I didn't even have my phone on me. It was just the earbud.
I don't even have a water sound effect. Darn it. What can I put? Okay. Yeah, she was peeing and I heard this. And I was like, are you peeing?
I was like, I've talked to him before on, the pot.
And yeah, she's giving me the Call of Duty. It's awkward.
I mean, but there's very little that he's never commented. And I'm like, okay.
Because he's never heard it.
Yeah, it was weird. I felt embarrassed.
I felt embarrassed. I was like, this is so weird.
He's like, are you peeing? I'm like, yeah, but you've never said anything before.
Because I've never heard it before. I forgot to turn on one of my lights. There we go. Now I'm separated from the background. Anyway, moving on. Oh, the next thing were earbuds. They become easy on the eyes. By the way, this article is from Cult of Mac. Please, cuz don't focus on the cult portion of it. It's just the name of the website. It said that first Apple made those outlandish white earpods and their stringy cabling an iconic image, which it really was in the ads. I don't know if you have had a chance to see them again, but they had the solid color background with the black silhouette of the character holding an iPod with those white earbuds.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, they were super iconic. I remember hearing about people who couldn't afford an iPod but went out and bought white earbuds just so people would think they had an iPod. I didn't do that. That's why my knockoffs, I made sure to get black AirPods so that no one would think that they were actual Apple AirPods.
Yeah, I remember when car phones were a thing back in the, I guess, early 90s.
Yeah.
I remember 2 guys driving by my mom's house and they actually had like a phone, like
a house phone?
A house phone, yeah. I was like, okay. We don't know that that's not real.
So also the iPhone, when it was released, set a high bar for smartphones. Smartphones existed, touchscreens existed before the iPhone, but the way it presented, the way it was presented, it was an internet device, a music device, and a phone. And it combined all three of those in a way that had never really been combined as successfully. You had BlackBerry, which could get on the internet, but you had a small screen and a physical keyboard, which was a very popular phone. Like that was the business phone to have at the time. And I think we talked about Palm had a touchscreen phone, but this
I had a Palm Pilot pink, and I'm trying to remember if I had internet access on it, and I don't think I did.
I don't remember. I don't. But this was revolutionary at the time, and you didn't need a stylus. All you had to do was use your finger, which the Palm, I believe, you had to have a stylus. So it really, and then it set the bar for smartphones to follow, which Google followed with their phone, and then Google made their operating system, their Android operating system, available to anyone who wanted it. So you had other manufacturers customizing that software to their phones and releasing their versions of the Android. So like, if you look at any phone now, most likely it's a smartphone, and it all goes back to 2007 when that was first released. And then they revolutionized the way that you could sell software with the App Store. When apps were available to download on iPhones, it created a whole new industry, because now people could write software for your handheld device. You got games.
And make all these apps, yeah.
Yeah. You got games. You got productivity
Candy
apps.
Crush.
Yeah, Candy
Exercise apps.
Exactly. I mean, they had that ad campaign. There's an app for that. So whatever you needed, there was probably an app available for it. If you wanted to know a good place to eat, you could download the Yelp app and just put in your location and find reviews of places around you. Just anything. It opened up a lot. And extending from that, they had the App Store for the Macintosh, your home computer. So you no longer had to worry about buying software that's on several disks. Like the first software package I bought, I remember floppy disks. It came on floppy disks, and just putting disk after, like, okay, it's done with this disk, put in the next disk. And if you ever had to reinstall, you better hope you put that software someplace that you could find, or hope that you didn't lose one of those disks. Otherwise, you were screwed. This, it's attached to your account. You just have to download it again.
I would have just thrown the whole computer away. I'm trying to remember when we first got a computer.
If you had to download all that stuff.
Yeah. And I'm sure when we did, we called Eric.
Probably.
We got our first computer from Circuit City.
I got my first computer in 1997 when I started college the first time. It was on sale at Best Buy for, I think, around $1,200. And my brother, Tony, I asked him, I was like, hey, man, would you mind charging this for me and me just paying you $100 a month? And he did. So I got my first computer because of my brother. And I paid him $100 a month for what seemed like 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how long, because I lost track until one day.
36 months.
One day he was like, have you paid this off yet? And I was like, I don't know. He was like, let's just say you did. I was like, okay, I'm good with that. I've had it for 17 years now. I think it's paid for. I've bought 3 computers since then. No, I had that first computer for a long time.
See, there's just no way.
What kind of computer was it? Because $1,200, like, back then was still kind of pricey. Well, it was pricey.
It was pricey, but that was one of the cheaper computers at the time. It was a brand called CTX. It was the big tower, the big beige tower with the little 15-inch beige monitor, with the matching beige keyboard, and probably a matching beige mouse with the little wheel inside the mouse. So
I remember going to your house and doing some type of training or something for work.
Probably. Yeah. It was
using your computer.
Except for your mom's computer, it was probably one of the first or second computers in the family.
Yeah.
At least in our local family. But I remember it had a 2.5 gig hard drive, and like 8 megabytes of RAM, which that's
Dang.
nothing. If somebody gave me anything,
No.
I think some of my photos are close to that size. Well, maybe not quite that big. Videos for sure. Like a modern video would not fit on there. You could have like seconds of video maybe.
Like my cell phone.
At work, we work with like these, we have to combine a lot of files together, and they always end up being like 6 megabytes. So that wouldn't even have fit on the computer.
6 megabytes?
Yeah.
Or gigabytes?
Megabyte.
Well, that would fit on the computer, but it would probably run out of RAM pretty quickly opening up some of those. I remember actually the first time I ever got connected to the internet on that computer, I was using AOL and it froze up my computer. Because AOL was software on top of other software, so it didn't just make a connection. You had to open up the AOL software, which loaded up all kinds of shit. And I remember like this pink little square got frozen on my computer. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I had to uninstall that software and figure out how to connect directly just by dialing in. And then I was able to use the internet.
You know why all that happened?
Why?
Because you didn't have a red bracelet or red thread or a hole in the dime.
A hole in my eye?
Dime.
Oh, a dime?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You should have.
But I learned
I
from
don't
that.
even know the difference of megabytes and gigabytes and
A
kilobytes.
gigabyte is worth 1,000 megabytes. A megabyte
okay.
is 1 million bytes. A gigabyte is 1 billion bytes.
See? But you know what happened
And
with
now
that?
my hard drives are terabytes,
That's
which are-
terrible.
which are trillions of bytes. 1 terabyte is 1 trillion bytes.
I don't even know what to say right now. I feel so lost.
I'm sorry. It's just more and more storage. Like as technology progresses, file sizes are able to get bigger, and you need more storage space to hold that. So
I'm running into that issue.
imagine if food got bigger as time went on. You'd need a bigger refrigerator to hold your bigger food.
That's actually true. Like, I remember when we first got married, we had a small refrigerator. And
Well, your family got bigger, so you needed more food.
Yeah,
So you needed a bigger refrigerator.
yeah.
All right. So the MacBook Air ushers in thin and light technology.
Which basically paved the way for laptops and tablets too,
Well,
right?
it forced other manufacturers to re-engineer some of their stuff and make thinner laptops, because at the time, laptops were kind of bulky. It was what the technology had, but Apple really pushed their engineers, probably, in questionable ways to get them to come up with some of these designs. But I remember when
geniuses.
they are geniuses,
Yeah,
even on the store level.
yeah. You got to be a genius to work there.
But I remember when they unveiled the MacBook Air, it was at one of their Apple conferences, and Steve Jobs is up there, and somebody brings out a manila envelope, like just a legal size, whatever, and gives it to him, and he opens it up on stage in front of everybody, and then pulls out a freaking laptop from an envelope.
Yeah,
the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Yeah, and at that time, I wasn't an Apple fan, so I was like, I don't care. Like, I can't even afford to get a regular laptop. What do I care about a super thin, lightweight laptop? But it's if you're a casual internet user who just needs to email and surf the internet from time to time, like that's the perfect computer to get. It's if you need to carry it with you, it's like very light. It's not going to add a whole lot to your baggage. And then in 2010, they introduced the iPad, which, in my opinion, pretty much created the tablet market. So after that, you get your Android tablets, you get your Kindle. What's the Kindle?
Kindle Fire.
Yeah, Kindle Fire.
Well, that's the same thing, almost like the phones. The phones, to me, are like mini tablets.
Well, yeah. It's basically they took the iPad and stretched it out. They took the iPhone and stretched it out. But tablet. Windows had a tablet several years before that looked like a clipboard with a stylus pen at the top, and it had a version of Windows on there, but it wasn't really a user-friendly experience. It was, they basically just ported the software over to a tablet computer and expected you to use it in the same way, but it wasn't the same thing. It's not the same experience on a tablet as it is on a laptop or a desktop. And Apple figured that out, again, with the multi-touch screen, the apps that were used with it, how you used it. Like, it had a built-in accelerometer. So some of the games you would have to move the screen to move around. So it really took advantage. And again, the technology had advanced by that time much more than what the Windows tablet had available, but they figured it out and created this whole new market for tablets that didn't exist yet.
So do you think with Apple's, I guess, updates to their tablets or iPads, I should say, because they're not, I guess, are they considered tablets?
Yeah.
Like that, they brought that stylus pen thing back.
Mm-hmm.
The pencil?
The pencil.
Yeah.
It's like legit writing with the pencil or a pen.
I've heard great things. I've never used one. My old iPad doesn't support it, but Isabel, you have one, right?
Yes.
And what's your experience with it?
Badass.
It works good. The only thing that bothers me is not being able to, I don't know if it's fully charged.
Well, that's maybe the next upgrade. You can write them a letter or something.
Yeah.
But I bought my first iPad when I started school the second time, and it was like $600 for the 32 gig. And I was on the fence about it because I'd quit my job to move back to Texas and go to school, but I figured I would need it for all my books. The school I went to required you to buy the ebook, and I had a laptop, but again, it was kind of heavy, a little bit bulky. And I thought, okay, I'll get the iPad. And that's what I used through my entire second run of school for books. I used it for other assignments too. They had a drawing app that I used for some of my assignments. It had, before the pencil was available, you could write notes and whatever and use my finger. I'm like, I don't like that. I'm take my notes the old fashioned way, but it was an option.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of difficult to do.
It was. That's why I stuck to the old way. But I also used it for more than school. I took photos on it, took some family videos. It was just, I streamed YouTube, Netflix. It became, at that time, it became a very integral device for me. I don't use it as much now because I don't need it in the same ways, but still it was important. It made an impact.
Yeah, I remember when Isabel was in school last semester.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last semester. Anyway, she always had hers out using it. And I'm like, don't you think you need a laptop? And she's like, no, I can do it on this. And
no,
like,
before
whatever.
that, you were like, why are you going to waste your money on that? You're not going to use it.
Yeah,
she did.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I use mine every day.
I believe it.
Yeah. And we also use it to FaceTime with my in-laws, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. She's like, my laptop's charged.
Do you have a MacBook laptop?
No.
Okay, but that's on the list, right?
That's on the list. I have not purchased a new laptop. The other day, my laptop died. It was like on 80% charged.
It's a sign.
Yeah. But I haven't purchased a new one yet because I want to get a Mac.
They have the iPad mini now, which was introduced sometime later, but that's what we got for my mom so that she can FaceTime with my brother and me. And it's helped connect us because when I first moved away, my mom had an old PC that I had bought her. I had to buy a webcam for her. I had to buy a microphone for it. And we used Skype at the time, and it was awful. So many times she tried to Skype with me, and the microphone wasn't working or the camera wasn't working. Now she has
But was it?
I don't know. I just check these settings, and going through Windows settings was just awful.
Yeah.
Now she has her iPad. She can FaceTime me. And then one year for her birthday, we got her an iMac so she can use that if she wanted to FaceTime, which she has used that to FaceTime me before she had her iPad.
So the iMac is What?
The iMac is an all-in-one computer. It's a monitor.
Desktop.
Yeah, it's a desktop with the built-in computer, built-in camera, and then hers came with a keyboard and mouse. And the other cool thing about that is if I'm on a Mac and she's on a Mac, if she's having computer troubles, I can connect to hers and see her screen and go through and make the changes myself as if I were there.
Wow.
And be like, okay, you're good to go.
Yeah. So,
and that's all built-in software. That's not like I have to install this or something. It's just like I send a request, she accepts it, and then I'm in her computer.
yeah. So what if somebody doesn't like accept it and then like, you know, not
Well, then
the
they have to
computer?
figure it out on their own.
Well, not that. I guess, I mean, remember that time, I think we had talked about it briefly, the story with Gloria when she may she rest in peace. Gloria's our deceased.
You were supposed to start the show with this story.
I forgot. But
Oh
yeah.
my.
So Gloria was like notorious for being at Walmart
By the
almost
way,
every day.
just so we don't breeze over this, our Aunt Gloria has passed away. So you're telling a story of someone who's no longer with us.
Yeah. She
didn't do anything wrong though.
We'll see. Tell the story.
Isabel might have to help me out here. I know that she told us that she was at Walmart and found an iPhone
As she was wheeling through the parking lot.
because she was, you know, in a wheelchair.
Yes.
She, wasn't able to. Yeah. So, and
she was missing a leg.
yes. And I might also add that she was legally blind in one of her eyes. She had glaucoma.
Okay.
But she
found this
iPhone.
Yeah. On the floor.
Yeah. And so she took it home. And then, like, I don't know how many days later or.
The police showed up because the phone had Find My iPhone on.
Yes.
And so it pinged, like at its last known location was at her house.
Oh my.
So the police showed up and this person was looking for their phone.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she told them that she didn't have any idea what they were talking about. She didn't have a phone. It wasn't at her house. And of course, like there was no kids there. It was just her
In a wheelchair.
with Mario.
Two old people.
Yeah.
Her husband, our Uncle Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just left it at that. And somehow
And you said she didn't do anything wrong?
I mean
that's what she
she
said.
could have forgotten about it.
Okay.
Because it wasn't until after she passed that
Years later.
Yeah.
Like,
somehow we were given the iPhone.
yeah, we were given her iPhone. I think Mario gave us like
Basically
an
like,
old tablet, the iPhone.
Some old
Things-
technology that he found.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if maybe we could get it to work to see what it was that she had on and if there were pictures or things on it. So even when we got it, I wasn't sure that we knew.
if it even worked.
Yeah. Or that we knew that was the iPhone.
Yeah.
Because she did own an iPhone legitimately at one point.
I think
No, she did. I remember.
she did. Okay. So here during the pandemic, we were just, had nothing to do. So that phone
Popped up.
and Isabel found someone they charged it and it was it locked or
No, so the screen was messed up. So it would charge and it would turn on, but part of the screen we weren't able to see because it was all it was like internally cracked.
so she paid
I paid $25 to one of Andres's friends. He fixed it and unlocked it, and there were pictures of all these unicorns and rainbows. Like the ones that you used to look at.
Wait. I was actually looking at unicorns and rainbows. How dare you take my innocent internet viewing and turn it into something salacious? What were there? How dare you, Isabel? I thought we were on the same side. So what you're implying is that there were nude photos on this.
Yes, there were so many nude photos, and there were just like these messages of, and I don't even know if it was a guy's phone or if it was a girl's phone, but
most of the pictures were of females.
But there were guy pictures on there, so it was just so weird. And we made the mistake of resetting it, and once we reset it, we could no longer use it because it had the authorization lock on it. So it still belonged to someone. That person who tried to find it years and years ago with the police, they still had their Find My iPhone account linked to the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that like pinged once it activated or turned on.
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't know how that works because
it's turned off now. I mean, we don't have no use for it.
Can you turn it over to the police or something? I don't know what to do with something like that.
Yeah, I would think I would just drop it in like a recycled bin for electronics.
Maybe.
That's what I think we're going to do with the other stuff. But here's the real question with all of that, okay?
The real question is,
did Gloria see those pictures and look at them?
There was no way. It was the screen was cracked. You couldn't see nothing.
That's crazy. But did it? I mean, I don't know. It may have cracked in her possession.
Wherever, Aunt Gloria, wherever you are, I'm so sorry. You know what they say? Speak ill of the dead.
No, we do not speak ill of the dead.
It's just
you
just connected her to a crime.
There's no crime.
I think there is.
Find it. Yeah, it's just it's weird that it's an Apple product.
And that's what ties it to our Apple. So hey, Apple just turned 45 years old. Let's talk about a stolen iPhone with nude pictures on it.
I mean, the technology though, just think about it. Like you pulled up
it allows you to send nude pictures to the palm of your hand.
No, like
it occupies one palm. Never mind. I won't finish that thought.
Gross. Gloria's been gone for like 5 years.
2017. 2016.
Yeah, 2016. That's 5 years ago. And
oh, so you're saying these people, the pictures are these people are older now?
Yeah, probably, but no.
Well,
it's
definitely
not really where I'm going. But it's 5 years. I guess the quality of that phone allowed for them to repair the screen, still charge it up.
And take good pictures.
Yeah.
Well, it turned on and worked just as if it would have 5 years ago.
Oh.
Like nothing was wrong with it. But I will say that before, because there's been instances where, like Brianna, my cousin, she would get locked out of her phone or her iPod or whatever, and she would bring it over and I would unlock it for her. And
how'd she get locked out of it?
I don't know.
Did she forget her password?
Yeah.
She would forget her password, and then she wouldn't have access to like the email address that she used to initially set it up.
It was this whole just drives me crazy.
That's something your mom would do. Ooh,
no,
I'm getting mad at your mom because that's something she would do.
It was this whole situation, and it happened a couple of times where I would have to legit restart the whole device as if it was brand new. And it would work because she would just set it up with whatever she was using at that time. But now you can't do that because they have upped their security settings on Apple devices. Like
Apple's
now,
real big on security. That's one of the things I have listed.
Yeah.
I'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah.
You can't do anything as long as it's linked to a person's
iCloud account or something.
iCloud or their email. Yeah. You won't be able to use it.
Well, that's good because I'm worried if I ever lose mine, I don't want anyone
to see your rainbows and unicorns.
No, I don't have that on my phone. What's wrong with you? I just, I don't want anyone to. I mean, I have other information on there. I have, my banking information, your phone number and your phone number.
No, yeah. If anybody ever got access to my phone, they would have like my whole life.
Yeah, it's strange how it's like ingrained itself into our daily use so much.
That's so weird.
All my cards are saved on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You just informed me that we'll have to wrap it up pretty soon. I'm not even halfway through this list. Isabel, do you think you might be able to join us again some other time to continue
Yes,
this?
I would be happy to join y'all again.
Okay, good. So if you're an Apple fan, or if you're not an Apple fan, hit us up, NumTwoPod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at NumTwoPod. Share your Apple stories or your Apple hatred with us, and we'll share it on the show.
Yep.
So that's number 2 podcast for today. We'll hopefully continue this in a part 2 because I have a lot more to talk about. I haven't even gotten into my real personal history with Apple. But until then, adios.
Adios.
Bye.
If you enjoyed watching this episode of Number 2 Podcast and would like to see more, tell them what they can do, cuz.
You can simply click the subscribe button, give us a like, click on the bell notification, and you'll be notified of all the episodes as they become available.
Yes, the bell notification.